friends, if you weren't able to make it to our 9:30 morning meeting to go over our ELA lesson, I'm going to kind of go over some of the things we talked about. So the first thing we have is our learning standard. Students will provide a statement of the central message, lesson, or moral in a text. So this is going to be what we're focusing on. However, we're going to be focusing on this tomorrow. So on Wednesday's lesson, we're going to come back to the story to look for the central message, the moral, or the lesson. And then there are some clues. But again, we're going to hit on that tomorrow after we've done the reading. Okay, so here are our words to know. So once you finish going over this, you can go into your Canvas and you can click through all of your sessions because I've just made this so that it's a little bit easier for you to see and for us to do together. Okay, so our first word that we have, our vocabulary word, is argue. James and his grandfather sometimes discuss movies and argue about them. So argue means to express a difference of opinion. And what are some words that mean the opposite? So we're going to talk about that. A lot of you are probably having arguments at home because we've been stuck in our house for so long. Our next one is our astonished. Oops. Tammy and Kim were astonished and amazed at the big bug they found. When you are astonished, you are surprised or amazed at something. So another word that we could use right here in the text is surprised or amazed. Ben complained, this is our next vocabulary word, about his dinner because he didn't like peas. Sounds like Mrs. Rucco. When people complain, they make an accusation or a charge. And so in this sentence, Ben was complaining, he was making an accusation that he didn't like peas. Tell about a time that you complained about something. So maybe you complained because we are no longer going back to school and we're going to continue this online learning, although we have good positives that we talked about on Friday, and we also have those negatives. Our next word here is conditions. Now, yesterday, Monday, we had some awful conditions that we got placed in a tornado warning. Mark's umbrella was ruined by the windy conditions. Conditions are the state or circumstances of something's in. So we're going to talk, or we talked about what the weather conditions are today. The next word we have is forbidding. This sign is forbidding us to swim in the pool. Notice how it says no swimming by recommendation of the county health department. So it's not just like Joe, my corner neighbor, telling me, hey, don't go in the water. Like we have the health department saying this. Forbidding means prohibiting or ordering not to do something. Think of some words that mean the same as forbidding. So hopefully you said prohibiting or ordering not to do something. Our next vocabulary word we have is forecast. We should be very familiar with this word. The weatherman says that the forecast today is sunny and warm. And even in my picture, I see that sunshine that gives me that clue. A forecast is a statement that tells us what will or, and in our case that live in Florida, may happen. Why do you look at a weather forecast? And so we discussed why we would check the forecast. Our next word that we have is relief. It was a relief that Mom found my dog and he was okay. Relief is the feeling from discomfort or pain. Relief is freeing from discomfort. Sorry. It was a relief that she found the dog. Tell about a time when you felt relief. So maybe you felt relief that after the storm yesterday, your house was intact and you were able to still go outside and play. The next word we have is stranded. Patricia was stranded at home during the rainstorm. This kind of makes me think of the Cat in the Hat with the little girl sitting there. When people are stranded, they are left in a helpless situation. And remember, we talked about helpless, without help. Why might you be stranded in bad weather? Okay, so their story this week, or that we're going to talk about today and tomorrow, is the schoolhouse blizzard. So before we get into that text, I wanted to really focus on that word blizzard here, and my yellow is not really picking up here. The word blizzard, it's still not picking up. I don't know why. And so a blizzard, we don't really have that in Florida because it doesn't snow here. And so as you can see in all three of these photos here, we've got a lot of snow that makes it very hard for us to see, or like in this picture here, for us to even move. So a blizzard is not just regular snow. It's a lot of snow at one time, causing it some problems that occur. Like we see this gentleman here and even this guy here walking. The next word we have is schoolhouse. And so schoolhouse is a house that is a school, not like our Citrus Grove Elementary where it's nice and big, but it's going to be a one-room schoolhouse. So before I even open up the text to this book, this kind of already lets me know that I'm probably going to be talking about where it's going to be really cold, and it's probably going to be set in the past because I don't really have a lot of these schoolhouses around. Within the text, we are going to be thinking about these important questions as we read the text. Now, these are going to be the 3 questions we go on Wednesday and delve into and really look at and come up with a thinking map. So what problem does the blizzard cause for Lily, Harry, and the other students? What step does Lily take to solve their problem? And then overall, what is the message or the theme?